All right, so for this week's overview, this is the week of September 14th to the 18th. So this is back to a full 5-day week. So what I want to do is I want to talk to you guys about a few things that I've noticed throughout my observations with the kids online and also the kids in class. So a couple things that I'm noticing. I'm noticing that at this point, people are finished with the outline drawing of their hand project. Just to kind of go over that really quick, you should have drawn the outline only of your hand. You should have drawn the outline only of the background. Once you finish the outline, you can go ahead and erase that grid, because the grid is really pretty much just there for proportion to get the shape and overall composition kind of figured out. So you can go ahead and erase that. Once you erase the grid, then what I want you to do before you go in and start shading, I want you to take a look at last week. It was Wednesday and Thursday. We had an assignment, and it was kind of like a mini lesson in the middle of this unit. And it was all about how to use drawing pencils, how to use blending sticks, how to create a value scale, and then how to actually apply values to your artwork. And that's something called value mapping, which hopefully you looked at on Friday. Okay, so between Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you should have a pretty good understanding of how to use drawing pencils. Do you have to use drawing pencils? No, you do not have to use drawing pencils. If you watched the video, I clearly stated that in there. Do you have to use a blending stick? No, but you should probably understand how to use them. Okay, in the week at a glance from last week, those videos were optional, and the reason why I made them optional is because if you don't have drawing pencils and if you don't have a blending stick, then obviously you're not going to be able to use those, especially if you're a remote learner. If you didn't watch those videos, that's fine, but you still want to make sure that you go through the value scale, and you also want to make sure that you complete the value mapping lesson, and there's a demo from Friday. So you want to make sure that you complete that so that you can move on to actually shading in your projects. Okay. Now, the other thing is I understand that some people are working remotely, so they're actually doing this project in their sketchbook. I also understand that a lot of people in class are doing this on a little bit of a larger scale. So the timing of when we finish could be a little bit different. It's looking like the project is going to be due on September 22nd or possibly September 23rd. I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on the progress that we see in class and from the kids at home, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so September 23rd, let's say, is the due date for the hands project. Okay, so what you should be working on this week. When you enter class on Monday, you should be turning in your value scale assignment. Okay, so if you log in on Monday and you're a remote learner, you're going to want to go in. There's going to be a link right here. So I haven't linked all this yet because this is actually, I'm actually not into next week yet. I'm doing this a little bit ahead of time, but there will be a link to the value scale due date and the assignment. So it's going to take you right to Polaris when you click that link. I'll probably even link this picture here. And then you're going to begin shading on your final draft. So what that's going to look like is you're going to take what you learned from the value mapping demo, which was Friday. You're going to take what you learned from creating this value scale, and then you're going to apply that to your hand, and you're going to try to demonstrate quality craftsmanship. So craftsmanship is basically just the quality and neatness of your work. It also has to do with your control over whatever your art medium is. So in this case, your art medium is going to be pencil. So whatever you're going to shade in pencil, that's totally up to you. Okay, so with that said, another thing that I want to go over, because I think some people either missed it or maybe they forgot, for this project, you have two references, right? You have your natural background and you also have your hand image. What I want you to think about is how can you create emphasis and how can you create contrast by using colored pencil and pencil. Okay, so what I'm basically getting at is if you want to do your hand in colored pencil, then you're going to do your entire hand in colored pencil. But if you want to do your hand in pencil, then you would probably do the background in colored pencil, okay? There's also going to be a couple tutorials on how to use the box, which creates a pretty cool dynamic between the two colors and pencil. And then the other thing is you are going to get a full demo on how to use colored pencil, particularly Prismacolor pencils, later in the week, okay? Now, last thing I want to mention, and hopefully you didn't stop the video, make sure you watch the whole videos. Well, the last thing I want to mention is obviously the kids at home may not have the material to use colored pencil for the project, and that's completely okay. So if you're somebody at home and you're realizing, well, shoot, I don't have colored pencils, you do not need to go buy them. All right, I can give you a recommended material list if you would like. I can do that, but you certainly don't need to go buy them. So what I would do is I would actually complete the entire project in pencil. So it's almost like an extreme version of your sketchbook assignment. You're going to spend a lot longer on this because the amount of time, if you look at the week at a glance, you have 40 minutes, 40 minutes, 40 minutes, 40 minutes, 40 minutes. That's 200 minutes a week times 3 weeks. So 600 minutes, that's about 10 hours of work. So if you think about it that way, and I guess we do have the value scale. So you're probably going to spend a collective over the course of 3 weeks, probably a total of 8 hours on the project. So this is going to be a very nice quality piece that hopefully everybody's proud of at the end of the assignment. All right, you're going to notice on Tuesday, Wednesday, we have a work day. The goal is to get half of either your hand or your background, whichever one you start on, which is whichever one you're going to do in pencil. The goal is to get half of that finished. Are you ready to start shading? This is just a review. Okay, so I put this in these 2 days just to kind of make it line up, in case you need to go back and check that out. And then there's going to be on Thursday something new, which is the colored pencil tutorial. So I want you to do pencil. Whoops. I want you to use pencil only at the beginning, which should take you all the way up to Wednesday. And then I want you to use colored pencil from there on. Okay, so if you get to this point on Tuesday, that's fine. That just means you're 2 days ahead. And then you will begin working on colored pencil part of your artwork. Feel free to experiment with colored pencils in your sketchbook. A lot of times what I do is I'll have my sketchbook off to the side and I'll actually practice and try to get the colors accurate for my artwork. And then there's a little reminder that Friday you have your sketchbook assignment number 4 due. And then Friday is going to be a work day. So hopefully that looks good for everybody. By the way, super pumped about the sketchbook assignments. You guys are doing awesome on those. Sketchbook assignment number 2 was out of the park, so it was pretty cool. I was pretty excited about that. So keep up the good work. And like I said, if you're ever stressed, I've said this in the videos before, but if you're ever stressed out about the workload or it's affecting your other classwork, please do not keep that inside. Please feel free to come talk to me and we can work it out so that you get your stuff done and everybody's good to go. All right. Okay, let's have a good week and I will see you soon.